ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Live on Patrol. Today, it is not a beautiful day. It's kind of cloudy, a little bit of snow sprinkles,
not real cold yet, though.
It's not real cold. 38 it says. Well, I was in the garage, so I don't know, if that's going to go down, but it's not too bad. So we are live in Ramsey County, Minnesota, the capital county of the state of Minnesota. We are in the city of St. Paul, and you are with Under Sheriff Mike Martin and Director Steve Lyden. And we are patrolling. We're just going over to the east side of St. Paul. Seatbelt. My partner thought that the beeping noise was his Tinder account, but it's actually his seatbelt, because we were sitting in the car talking for a minute there. So yeah, it's holding steady here at 38 degrees, and like I said, we are on the east side of St. Paul, and welcome backseaters. You are in the back seat of my 2024 Chevy Tahoe blacked out model. Is that what you would call it? Police pursuit model. In other words, if you saw me drive past you, you'd go, oh, that's a police car. So we're not really undercover, but
just an unmarked.
Yeah, we're just in an unmarked. We're going to head through the east side here, right past Yerusos and Morales. Have you ever been in that Morales?
I have. It's cash only and really good prices. They treat their customers very fair. Great selection, very friendly staff.
Good. Yeah, I've heard really good things. I've just never been in there personally. It's an Italian deli. Supposedly very authentic Italian food in there.
Plus liquor store.
Oh, there's a liquor store in there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
Good prices. Very good prices.
Two for the price of one.
And then go into Yerusos, and that's a staple of
that I've had.
Yeah, I can see that.
The hot dago.
Hey, oh, God, that's different.
I haven't since we've been eating healthier.
We have, and I tell you, I did had a cold over the weekend, and so I was in mostly down all weekend long, getting rid of it, doing the coldies and the soups and the liquids. And, but knowing I was going to be hungry, rather than ordering Domino's or the Uber Eats, I went to the grocery store and I bought the stuff that they told us about. It came to $140, and with the exception of a couple apples, in 3 days it's gone.
Wow.
It's healthy food's expensive.
It is. So we have we've had the benefit of having some health coaches that have been telling us how to eat better and take care of ourselves and exercise, and it's paying off. I think we both feel better.
Yeah, definitely. Very interesting, the things. Basically, if you eat the foods that your grandparents had in the 50s, you'd be fine. It's all the preservatives and the corn syrups and all that kind of stuff they've added in the 70s and 80s that's poisoning us. But now that we're lean and trim, and
we're like John Candy in Stripes, a lean, mean fighting machine.
There you go. Speaking of fighting crime, just before we went live, there was a suspect trying to elude the police, but with the great work of the State Highway Patrol helicopter, I believe St. Paul successfully deployed sticks, and Cat successfully, once he bailed out of the car, was able to apprehend the fleeing suspect. I believe it started in Woodbury. And so St. Paul and the Highway Patrol and Ramsey County worked together with Woodbury, and the bad guy's going to jail. And that's I'm going to say 90% of the time there's agencies working together, sharing information together. Citizens win by people being held accountable and arrested for what they've done. It's when agencies don't work together, it makes it harder for the one agency trying to fight crime. So that's hats off to agencies that work together.
Well, and it's the State Patrol, we often say it's a game changer.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, once that's up, we don't have to pursue as hard. As a matter of fact, today he reminded the cops, he Don't have to push it. Just let him. I'm over him.
I got it.
You can back off a little bit.
I think we have like a 99% arrest rate when the helicopter's there.
Really?
Because not only do they...
Make sense.
You know, we don't have to chase it, and when they bail, they stay with the driver.
Yeah, so that is nice.
Yeah. I also saw on the news today they have made an arrest in the assassination of the insurance CEO. Somebody recognized his picture at as he sat at a McDonald's, and they called the police and arrested him.
That's awesome. Yep. It's and he had the gun on him that they believe was the gun used in the shooting of Mr. Thompson, and just a tragic deal. And
yeah, it's just there's still a lot of people out there that commit crimes. Sometimes doesn't make sense. I understand this guy had some notes about the Unabomber, some of the words that he'd used. Supposed to be a pretty smart guy. Graduated top of his class.
A few degrees from Penn, and top of his class from some prestigious private school out in Delaware. And at some point became anti-capitalist, big business, and unfortunately took it out on this poor guy trying to run a company. And
fire still en route.
So yeah, that was the great arrest. And again, a citizen steps up and calls 911 and says, hey, that dude's in here, and that leads to it. I mean, so many times it's just the public's involvement and awareness and that solves crimes.
Do you scan it?
I am scanning, yeah. There's not much going on.
Yeah, pretty quiet.
Use the Q word, though, so that'll help.
Yeah.
I went over two things today. I went to a luncheon with Darren McDonald and at downtown St. Paul, and for the Building Owners and Managers Association annual First Responder Appreciation Luncheon. It was very nice. There were members of St. Paul PD, St. Paul Fire, Ramsey County PD, Metro Transit, or Ramsey County Sheriff's, Metro Transit PD, and they served us a nice lunch, and the lunch speaker was Commissioner of Public Safety, Bob Jacobson, for the state of Minnesota.
You've known Bob for a long time.
I've known Bob for many, many years. He's former chief of the New Brighton Police Department, actually director of public safety for the New Brighton Police Department. So he had police and fire, and then tried to retire, and then went through a couple of temporary jobs helping, was interim chief in Stillwater while they were looking for a new chief, and assistant to the director of the Department of Health and Human Services, I think, for a while. And then, anyway, great guy, and has really done a good job. Then I left there and drove over to Minneapolis, where there's a big nationwide conference called Public Safety Partnership Conference, and where you have larger agencies from across the country talking about how to reduce crime, how to improve their effectiveness. And a couple of my friends were there. Sean Baldwin, who was the chief of police in Fort Pierce, Florida, and who I worked with at the National Gang Center, and Becky Panabianco, who was with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and then I worked with at the National Gang Center in Trellis, out, I think you pronounce it D'Alemberte, but I'm not sure. Anyway, got to see them. It was fun to see them again, and ran into a bunch of old people from Minneapolis that I worked with when I was over there. Talked to them, talked to some Hennepin County deputies. Drew Evans, the superintendent of the BCA, was there, and so it was fun to talk to him. And then I snuck out before they made me go sit in a class or
There you go.
something.
Because you had to come meet your people.
Yeah, I had to come do live on patrol. I can't be live on patrol and sitting.
And unless you're presenting, I'm going to say that after the years that you've spent in law enforcement, you don't need to go to a conference to know that you target career criminals, get them arrested, hold them accountable. You make sure children that have 5 interactions with cops or more get to the secure treatment that they need for addiction, mental health, cognitive thinking, get their education up, because we know historically that's where your crime's committed, by a small amount of people, a large amount of crime. And unfortunately, the justice system kind of got screwed up in the mid-2015s. And, don't lock people up, don't hold them accountable, don't charge them for booking, don't charge them for cell phones. Don't hold people accountable for their behavior. And that has ignited more crime. And it's a cycle that we see happen over and over. And now people are saying, oh my God, what are we going to do? Well, we know what to do.
Start doing the fundamentals again. If you ever, are studying a sport, you'll hear the athletes talk about the fundamentals.
Yep.
Keeping your eye on the ball, getting your glove down on the ground. It's the fundamentals, 2 hands on the ball, that you go back to all the time, and there are fundamentals in policing, but people always think they have to reinvent the wheel, and it's no offense to anybody who's at that conference. There's great people there.
Right, and there's a lot of new people.
Yeah, and there are a lot of new people who haven't heard it or experienced it yet, but
if you learn from your history, you won't be condemned to repeat it.
Correct.
And the other thing that's great about those conferences is you do get to network, you meet the new people, you interact with people you haven't before, so when you do need some help or you have some information, you pick up the phone, you're talking to somebody you know,
yeah.
Credibility. Some crimes get solved there just by a couple of detectives talking about, I've got this crime, and wait, that's my crime, I've got the same crime, and they put it together. I've seen all that happen. So it's very, even if you just do networking at a conference, it is a huge success. And you also want to talk about grant money that might be available, or some new technology that will help the basics go a little quicker. But you can have the drones and the GPS, and you can have the computers and artificial intelligence. It's boots on the ground that solves crimes.
Yes, and so that's the beauty. I saw a lot of young leaders there that are learning a lot of this stuff for the first time, and it was neat to see some of the people that I've known for years. And but the bottom line is, I was talking to someone about our carjacking and auto theft team, and why they asked me why I thought we were so successful, and I told them it's because we focus on the most prolific offenders. And, then we look and see what we can do to intervene with those particular people. We're going to stop here and get some gas, because I don't want to end like I did last time where we're about to run out of gas.
Yeah, and it's always that time you're a little short on gas, and what happens, you get into a thing where you've got to be driving a while. So, we are at Public Works, next to the golf course, and city of Maplewood, which is convenient. Courthouse from Maplewood is probably a quarter mile just north, exactly the way we're looking, in Ramsey County. Keeps a lot of traffic court there. Then there's the courthouse downtown, and then there's the juvenile court in 3 different areas, and the sheriff provides the protection for all those areas. The sheriff's office has more responsibilities than just the law enforcement, controlling, investigating, which isn't a just. That's a big deal. I mean, St. Paul Police, all city police do those things also. But on top of that, the sheriff's in charge of civil service, serving subpoenas, serving writs, handling foreclosure sales, providing security for the judges and the courthouses and the county buildings, county parks, and the county waterways. So there's a lot more responsibility at the sheriff's department than there are in the local city police departments.
You answering questions?
Nope, I was just talking. Of course, it's the Christmas time of year, so just a little tidbit: if you're going from store to store, mall to mall, make sure that you're looking around when you're walking out to your car, see who's around you. Put the items in the trunk if you're going to go to a different store. Sometimes those thieves will walk around the parking lot looking for all the packages in the back seat if somebody just went into the mall or to a store, and then they'll try to break the window, go into the car, and take the packages out. It's the same thing, you know, in the summertime when people start walking trails again. Keep your purse and computer hidden. Well, keep the presents hidden. And because it's holiday season and nobody wants to be a victim, and definitely don't want to be a victim during the holiday seasons when your children's or your loved ones' presents are stolen.
Correct. What else do we have going on crime-wise? Where it's been, I don't want to say it's been quiet, it's been busy, but actually not too bad, other than a few, you know, there have been a couple incidents on light rail. And, you know, I actually, at lunch today, sat with a couple guys from the Metro Transit PD who, one of whom I knew and the other two I didn't know as well. And, you know, they were talking to us about, you know, being understaffed and just the nature of the work they have to do.
We got some cold weather coming up here, so make sure your kids are bundled up when they get out there. It's, you know, Minnesota is, all of you that have lived here for a while, but for those of you that have never lived here or are new to the area, you know, you can have 40 degrees on Sunday and 5 below on Thursday. Yeah, this time of year is unpredictable. You just have to constantly keep that extra cold weather gear in your car in case it breaks down on you. And when it starts out nice and ends up blizzardy by the end of the day.
Saturday, I was in the garage, just trying to clean up some stuff. Too much junk in there right now, and it was very pleasant. And yesterday, my wife Ann hung up the Christmas lights, which she likes to do. It's kind of her annual thing. She enjoys getting out there. And
I see Ann just mentioned she had her shed broken into. It's just not a regular occurrence, but when it does occur and you're the victim of a crime, you've been burglarized, you've had items stolen or vandalized, it's very frustrating, and I get that, especially this time of year. And of course, for a lot of private industries, this is bonus time of year. Right?
Bonus?
Yeah, it's something that...
What's a bonus?
Well, it's something you get in private industry, not public service.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm gonna ask for double the bonus this year that I got last year. What do you think? What's 2 times 0?
that would be 0.
Oh, darn it.
But double 0.
Double 0, yeah, that's even better.
But maybe we'll give you a title to go with it. How's that sound? Right out of Cheers.
Senior under sheriff. Well, I don't know. Well, Jeff Ramaker's been with the sheriff's office longer.
He has
I've been a cop longer, so I don't know how you count that.
And you're older.
Oh, and I'm old. And but when Bill Finney was an undersheriff, there was no question who the senior undersheriff was.
Chief of police, 12 years.
Cop for 40, more than 40 some years.
4474 Tango. It's going to take my curve. Either way.
Well, we're right now in the city of Maplewood. We're going to head southbound on White Bear Avenue. A lot of construction at John Larpenter and White Bear Avenue intersection. That's all, I think, done, cleaned up now. So.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. Hockey season must be back in force because there's cars here during the afternoon.
Aldridge Arena will be busy. The indoor, what is that, golf?
Yeah, golf dome. I think it's Goodrich. Is that what that's called?
It's the golf course. I'm not sure if they own the dome. They might. I'm not a golfer.
I'm not either. My son Tyler is.
He's a good golfer, I understand.
Yeah, he's a good golfer and he loves doing it.
A new building going up right here. Nice looking building. I wonder what it's going to be. Nice to have this intersection opened up again.
It is, yeah. It was kind of a mess there for a while. You hearing anything on the radio?
No, it's been, I'll say it again, it's been real quiet. So you're not from this area, Michael. When I was growing up in this vacant lot, was a dinner supper club afterwards, bowling alley supper club, peanut room downstairs. And that was the place to go for dinner on Friday or Saturday night.
Nice. What did you do to it?
Yeah.
Why?
Not me.
Oh, okay. It wasn't you. All right.
So vacuum car on the alarm stick here on the back. Just keeping on my current. Just waiting for a couple of status.
And I just read in the paper the other day, there's a new Taco Bell coming out to nursing home on McKnight.
Oh, really? On McKnight over by like Cheryl's?
No, that's 120. McKnight's more like by Target.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm off a little bit.
Yep. Oh, with the
We
backseat.
got some backseaters saying hi there.
That's all right.
What? Yeah, I was off there. Yeah, by Target and the baseball fields.
Yeah, exactly.
I see. Yeah, that's that little area right there is kind of a interesting. You know, you don't really. It's ripe for development.
It really is, and it's when Anchor Block moved out of there, they came in and put in a lot of high density residential area on that southwest corner of McKnight and Highway 36. Now there's a Quick Trip went in there, and so the population is going up there. You've got a little strip mall across from Target that I think is going to start flourishing. It's going to probably end up bleeding into White Bear Avenue, where you've got the grocery store and some other shopping there. It'll be a growing area, I think.
Yeah, that Quick Trip's a nice little store there.
I am impressed with how Quick Trip operates and runs. How the Erickson operates and runs real well. I'm impressed with those two.
Yeah, they do a good job, and you can always count on Quick Trip to have a nice, big, clean bathroom.
Very nice. Yeah.
When you're on the road. Which
When
is
cops
kinda
are on the
nice.
road, you got to have those bathrooms available.
Yeah.
Especially as you get older.
Oh boy.
He doesn't really know how to drive very well.
No.
He's trying hard.
He's trying, isn't that?
918
Well, when it comes to driving, we need a little more than trying.
Yeah. People sometimes forget the power that vehicle has,
Yeah.
and the damage it can do when you don't handle it.
No.
It's been an interesting experience eating very healthy food. That today well, dieting probably is the worst thing to talk about at the holidays, right?
Yeah.
Are we boring everybody out there enough?
We could start a live on patrol diet, like a live on patrol.
Like an Alcoholics Anonymous. Hi, my name's Steven, and I overeat.
My name is Mike, and I've been overeating for more than 50 years.
And sometimes it's not overeating. It's actually what we learned. It's eating the wrong things.
That's the thing is, I'm not really hungry. I'm eating the right things now, which is good. And so...
Boy, it is. I'm going to say it again. It's nice and quiet out here today.
Super quiet.
I think it's us, Mike. I'm going to take credit. They heard we're out on the street, and that's it. They're going to go legal now.
Everybody. Crime has been quashed.
If you're waiting for us to start singing Christmas songs, it's going to be an awful long wait because neither one of us can carry a tune.
No. My wife often asks me, "Hey, could you sing solo? Solo, we can't hear you."
Yeah, it's the only solo they want to hear.
Or do you know how to sing Far, Far Away?
Write them down, folks. We're here all week.
We're here all week. Hey, I should be able to get a deal there at Mike's Auto Repair, don't you think?
I thought it was your shop.
Sorry. We're going down here. We're still south on White Bear Avenue. We are coming up to Old Hudson Road, as opposed to, there's not a new Hudson Road down here, right? I mean,
Well,
what's up with that? Like in Maplewood, there's in Mounds View, there's Old Highway 10, and then there's Highway 10. shouldn't there be a new Hudson Road?
Instead of just the old Hudson Road?
Yeah.
I think the road's been there so long it's earned the title old. That's my stance. It's wrong, but that's my story.
You know what I think of when I think of Old Hudson Road? That Motel 6. Because you hear so many calls there. Although it's been quieter there than it has been when I first came to the sheriff's office.
Yeah, I think it's been cleaned up a bit.
And then we're turning left to go eastbound on Suburban, which is weird because there's no suburbs around here that I'm aware of.
Well, you're getting close to them, though. That used to be.
Maybe it's the road to the suburbs.
There you go. So did you know Phelan Lake, we talk about that.
Yeah.
There's Phelan Boulevard. Phelan was a murderer.
What?
Yeah, back territorial Minnesota. He actually fled the state after he was suspected of doing a murder, but they named the lake after him, so.
Why would they name the lake after him?
Yeah, I don't know if they named it before. I'm guessing they named it before they found out what he did and took off.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was like his family or name or something.
There you go. So I'm kind of getting into the suburbs up here a little bit.
I'm going to go in here because there's a little lower lot here.
Yep.
Where we've covered some stone ones before.
Several times out there we have.
And,
Is your camera on?
yeah. You mean the
Yeah.
LPR?
Yeah.
It's constantly does this. I gotta get it fixed, but none of these look like
It's got a flat.
cars that we. So one day I'm out here and there was a Kia backed up in here. And it didn't have a front plate, so I walked out and I was looking at the back plate. And the lady came out onto the balcony right here.
Yep.
Started yelling at me. It was when I had a Durango, but
Yep.
it was didn't look like a police car.
Yep. Well.
And she started yelling at me because she thought I was prowling the cars down there.
Good. God bless her.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out for your neighbors.
So
You
yeah,
coming in or you going for you to leave?
he's waiting for me to leave. I'm gonna pull down to the other entrance here and leave. I'm gonna reset. Yeah, that camera is constantly going off, and then I lose it, and then I have to reset it, which takes a while.
Okay.
Not worth it usually. We can keep going down here though and see what's up down Burns Avenue.
You know, the camera in that state police helicopter, I've seen video after the fact when we've submitted charges. They've got a pilot and then a co-pilot that handles the cameras. And they have such powerful lenses and can follow night or day.
It's unbelievable,
It
isn't it?
really is. It is a great tool.
I mean, they can be thousands of feet up in the air
Yeah.
and read a license plate, and then when they turn on the heat, the infrared,
Oh.
they could find people hiding and
They'll get sometimes they'll say, I'm getting a heat source under this tree. It's just, they don't see the full outline, and then you go there and they're the guys hiding under the tree or in the tree.
or it's a deer.
And I've talked to the pilots a couple of times when we've done joint efforts, and I said, hey, I've got a drone. I'm going to go up. My ceiling is 400 feet for the drone, but I can come down in between cars. I can come down and look in a garage, fly around in a garage. The helicopter can't do that.
Right, yeah.
So there's a good partnership. And I said, hey, is that going to bother you, though? And the pilot kind of chuckled. He says, I'm up a couple thousand feet or better. You're never going to come near me, and if you did, the wash on my propeller
Would take care of
would
your
set your drone down. Not to worry, kid. They're great pilots. They love that work.
Awesome.
They're well funded, hopefully, because they're a critical piece. And they go all over the state. Duluth, Rochester calls them.
Yeah, they're just unbelievable. Rescue, searching for missing people. Obviously, we primarily use them for looking for suspects and vehicles, and that's the other thing is, we'll be chasing a car and we lose it, and they'll say, hey, there's a car that's the engine's really hot and the wheels are hot, radiating, parked, over here, and sure enough,
It's the car.
that's our car. Were you working the night there was the big fight here at the DoubleTree,
No.
and the woman's, one of the young ladies involved sprayed bear mace in there?
I'd heard about it, but I was not working.
Dude, it was so bad. And there was a hockey tournament in town. They were staying in there, and it was, I guess the place was uninhabitable for a little while.
Yeah, I've never been around bear spray when it's been sprayed. I've seen the canisters, but it's not for human consumption.
No, it's not made for. It's not like mace. Where can we drum up some business here?
Keep people safe.
Should we go by Sunray? Yeah, my son Tyler's actually in Las Vegas golfing yesterday and today.
For him, he's
What kind of life is that?
Hey, Miller,
this is not.
yeah, go ahead.
There's no snow out right now. It's pretty much gone, but it's not really golfing weather in Minnesota right now.
No.
You in uni? What's there? Is there a school there that he might be hanging at?
He went the.
You want to turn down your
Yeah, I got it down there. Yeah, way down. He went the week before. He went golfing here,
There used to be a school on the southwest corner. They might have closed for service.
and froze. They
Oh.
went out. I'm not sure what course they went to, but it was some kind of a tournament that he played in, and it was in Watertown. I'm gonna turn the sound back up. I had to turn it down there for a sec because there was some discussion going on that we didn't want being broadcast.
It's a heck of a building going up there, huh?
This is it's been there, but they're updating it. I'm gonna say it looks like a mortuary. What do you think?
Well, I was thinking a little. I was actually thinking maybe something before the mortuary. I thought it was gonna be like a nursing home.
Oh, geez, yeah, it could be.
It's pretty big,
It's pretty big.
and us
yeah.
baby boomers are getting old. There's a lot of us, Mike. There's a lot of baby boomers.
That's true. Do you think there's any like senior living places that broadcast live on patrol? Like they sit around and watch us?
I don't know.
I know individual people do.
Yeah, I would think. Obviously, if it's you and I on, I can see why people want to watch. As modest as I am.
Well, I think they wait till, later at night and then they watch us to go to sleep.
Well, yeah,
Unless
it's a
last
drug-free.
week we had it good. There was stuff happening. Just depends.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's the East View. I haven't seen that before.
No. A lot of these old apartment buildings, they're giving them new names so they sound a little fancier.
Yeah. Well, the prices of apartments have gone right through the ceiling.
Yeah, there's some kind of school or organization in the northeast corner there in that Creek building.
I'm going to throw mine on without that.
You know what's in there once
Some was in that pajama place right there, and then in that school you were referring, I think at Rosenthal was the principal there.
I think you did.
So I have my sound all the way down on that channel.
If he stays there, another thing. I'm rolling
So
over
we
there.
just, well, that looks cool. Must be here to pick up the kid, huh?
I was like, are you running to catch the bus or?
Yeah, it's not the city bus.
Doesn't look like a.
I think Mom is looking to the bus driver stopping again. I'm guessing.
152.
152.
All right.
Please send us a number for recovered property using Westview.
Gonna pull right out on you.
Clear that report.
Yeah, that wasn't very can see.
Did you ever drive a school bus?
No.
I did.
Hey, Miller, who's working afternoon?
I was.
I don't think there's anybody today. I will be here at 4:30.
My dad drove the school bus when he was in school because his dad owned the bus.
Oh.
It was the only hardware implement dealership garage in the small town they lived in Kansas. So my dad tells stories about how he couldn't be sick for school because he had to drive the bus starting when he was about 13.
Right.
Take a big burn. Let them see me.
That's my plug-in.
Go ahead.
But this might be heading concerning other system.
It's super loud.
Is this in relation to 148 call?
Wasn't sure.
9:24.
You heard it. I knew I should
I
could.
can hear it. Oh. Yeah, I don't think I'd be a good school bus driver. I'm just too easily distracted. I have a hard enough time driving little cars.
Yeah, I was going to college. I worked at JCPenney in Phelan Outlet, which is gone now. It's actually a pond now. And went to college at the same time. And so I would drive the pickup in the morning, drop kids off to school, and let me drive the bus to JCPenney. I worked in the warehouse during the day, which was a vacant store down a bit from the penny store. And then I'd do that till noon. And then I would go to kindergarten, pick up and drop off. I come back and work pennies. And then I go do an after school event somewhere. Football team, baseball team, basketball team.
Wow, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and then I'd go to school 3 of those days a week. Instead of going to pennies, I'd go to school. But when you're a kid, you do that stuff. Whatever it takes to get it done. And the bosses were good.
This person just ran a red light. I'm gonna give them a little reminder to be careful. Here. Or, we don't know, could be a mass murderer.
Bad girls line at 39 for next.
Why would I want that?
Before you can cut my friend in that vehicle.
We're clear system from Verna. Darren King, heading there. Just keep in mind a call just popped for you. Driver pointing a gun at comp. Move forward, focus. Vehicle has white plate, unknown numbers.
He said the
Union Fairview.
he said the car registers to him, so
Registers where?
to him.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna run the plate and see if he comes up valid.
New message.
So, nice guys. Just picked up his kid from school, and his wife's in the back seat with the kid in the car seat. And the kid in the car seat is eating a chicken wing.
10-1 for 5283 in Murmur.
Looks
Stolen
really
vehicle's
good.
going to be in the north parking lot in front of Kyoto Sushi. Looks like lights are on. Unable to tell if it's on accurate.
Oh, man. Alright, I'm going to give
Copy
him
on
his
the
stuff
north
back.
parking lot,
He's
Kyoto
valid.
Sushi lights are on. I don't know how to do it.
Alright. Let's take it right here.
Is that Roseville taking that? Yeah.
Occupied by multiple.
Copy, occupied multiple times.
Stolen.
Two parties look like two black females. There's another call pending for the same vehicle. Check the car at Goodwill. Just tell me where is the Goodwill? It's going to be at 553 Fairview, so just north of Union Fairview.
This is 5 counties on 20 Eastern. Tire clears clear at 61.
They stopping it now. So Roseville PD's out with a stolen vehicle. It sounds like the occupants are compliant for now. In a parking
Can I
lot.
get one more squad to assist on a short form order for protection service at 1449 Parkwood Drive?
So
7185.
I think 3 hours code here.
5280, I copy code 4.
So we're northbound now on Johnson Parkway from 3rd.
Copy, you guys still on 10-1?
Thank you.
Copy the 10-1 is clear.
Must be code 4 now. 10-1 clear.
Must be, yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Still nice outside. Not
Yeah,
bad.
not bad. 35 degrees. Just a slight wind. I saw Deputy Michelari today when I was over at Minneapolis.
Ah,
He was at that conference.
okay.
He is assigned to the BCA Violent Crime Reduction Unit, and they were participating in one of the workshops over there, or panels, I believe. So, yeah, it's supposed to get below 0 on Wednesday, right?
Yes. Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday are going to be pretty cold out there.
We did had a detail this last weekend because of extreme cold for helping shelter homeless folks that didn't have anywhere to go because the warming shelters hadn't opened yet.
Yeah.
And so we opened up our lobby of our law enforcement center, which we've done in the past, so they would have a place to come in and warm up and sleep overnight, and then they can go to the shelters in the morning that are nearby. But the wind was brutal.
You think about that, yeah.
2363 clear system.
You don't have shelter to stay in. You weren't going to last. Matter of fact, we lost one the first night.
Yeah, the first night, one of our folks saw a gentleman down on the sidewalk as they were out looking for people to help, and that it was too late for that gentleman. He was suffering from hypothermia, and
Ended up having a heart attack, I think, and died.
it sucks when you're working that hard to help people and then something like that happens. And but we'll keep doing it until.
And I think I heard Wednesday the county's going to be up and open.
Yes. Yep.
And I give them credit. You know, they've had a staffing issue. They put out a contract to have a vendor. Didn't get a lot of responses, but they really scrambled to get it open with this cold weather. And again, I look at people are going to die, and my job is to protect people. So if they're not open yet, we will be. And
Right.
I think we had 90-some people the first night.
Yeah, 90. And one dog and one cat.
Yep. And I think we had a mother with 2 children, and she was pregnant, and hit some hard times and didn't have shelter that time.
Yeah, and thank you to all the backseaters that have donated blankets and socks. Blankets and coats are probably, and socks are the most sought after items. And then we fed them as well, and gave them water and hygiene products. So
416 Metro 96. 468 1630.
New message.
You know, in police work, you run into so many different things. You know, if there's a mentally ill individual having some type of problem, what do you do? Just call the police.
1630.
You might be dealing with a lost child 1 minute and an armed robber the next minute.
right.
We're on the right now.
We deal,
1630.
you know, we're 24/7, and that means people are working nights, they're working afternoons, they're working weekends, they're working holidays, kind of like hospital staff, medical staff, right? Correction staff. It's not Monday through Friday, weekends and holidays off. Sometimes when
I
you're
thought
looking-
it was.
Yeah, well-
I'm still surprised that.
But you know, sometimes you get that night. You know, I won't mention names, but you're on the phone talking to somebody, and you're like, you do know we're 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you're Monday through Friday, weekends, holidays off. You want to have a meeting with these people that work midnights at 10 o'clock in the morning. You know, that's the middle of their night.
Right. Yeah.
You need to adjust here a little bit. So it's an interesting, and it's one of the reasons I tell guys, especially when I worked at Skills, which is the training academy for people wanting to get licensed police officers. If you have friends that you should, that are police officers, keep them when you become cops.
Yeah.
Don't just socialize with police officers, because you get into a bubble of, you deal with bad people, violent people, mentally ill people, a lot, and way more than your average human has exposure to. So you don't want to get a tainted view. You want to keep balance. I wonder who's going to move in that CVS that closed.
I don't know.
Big building. I think somebody.
Yeah, hopefully it
Just
doesn't.
one counselor out of the ambulance, officer safety, representative of homicide. Please listen to me of black Mazda NZ3 license plate Charlie Tango Foxtrot 437. Vehicle was stolen in a carjacking. Victim was shot in the chest and later passed away. Suspects had 3 unknown race females and 2 unknown race males wearing key masks. It was about that 1533.
All right. So Minneapolis is sending out an alert on a vehicle that they want us to keep an eye out for.
They sent a phone call.
Yeah, so that's easy.
And that was involved in a homicide. So we will look at that. But if we were to run that license plate, or if one of our automatic license plate readers picks it up, it will automatically alert us to
2267.
the fact that vehicle's wanted.
I'm in front of 1091 Penn Road in Maplewood, and there's a branch on the power line that's working. If you want to advise there, and no.
Yeah, just to double down on what Steve said, you know, part of the problem when you first become a cop
Please boy in Verna.
is, for me, that was in Minneapolis. You only deal with people on calls, like on the worst day of their life, where they're a victim or they're a suspect, and you don't deal with just your average people. People don't call you and say, hey, stop by, nothing's going wrong, we're having a barbecue. They call because brother just stabbed his sister over some argument that they had 10 years ago, or, you know, dad's drunk again and threatening people, and you start to get into this mindset of everybody you deal with is a knucklehead or a problem, and you forget about that, you know, the majority of people are good people who are just going about their lives. And so it's important to have those interactions with just good folks. is that, you know, we keep young officers from developing that us versus them mentality. We are westbound on Maryland. We just crossed over 35E.
2553.
We're heading into the central district.
2550. Control down.
For a black cat, this is the area of Highland Park, 6975. It's an outfield south. Woodbury 7, David 15, squad status.
Hold on.
Copy.
St. Paul PD just stopped earlier stopped a pickup truck that had one of our most prolific young men in it, who had a gun as well. So good work by St. Paul. That's the guy that T-boned Odie, like on his first day.
First day on patrol, yeah. We recruited him from North St. Paul. He was their detective, came over to work patrol. And they gave him a squad after his short FTO, because he's a seasoned cop, knows what he's doing. And they jokingly said, this is a brand new squad. Whatever you do, just don't get into an accident tonight. And about an hour and a half later, 3 kids in a stolen car, driving excessive speed and running a stop sign, T-boned him. Fortunately, he wasn't hurt. All 3 arrested. And fortunately arrested them over and over again.
Yep. So I'm guessing this kid might be an adult now. I'm trying to think of how old he was. You got an EOB on there?
Yeah, it's no, not yet.
Not an adult yet. There's it's always kind of interesting to see their face when they realize they're going to the adult jail for the first time.
Yeah.
And, they're not going to the kiddie jail where they call mom to come get them.
This one says
It's a little different world.
Yeah, they come to the location where they're playing the arrest.
We're south on Rice Street here. We are coming up here on Front Street, right by Mama's Pizza.
Tony does a great job with those pizzas, let me tell you.
Ugh. Killer pizzas. Do they have dine-in yet?
No, I don't think Tony's going to go to dine-in. He, since the pandemic, I think staffing became hard, and he really worked on his takeout business. I think it's gone well enough that he's comfortable staying with that. But I should let you know if it changed.
It's a good place.
Yeah, I still get pizza.
We had a PPV at Lakeville Park.
We had took out pizza from there not too long ago. Was that you that brought it into the office?
Yeah, it's a nice reward from the staff every now and then. But sometimes they just go that extra mile. We have really great staff in the sheriff's department.
We do.
Dedicated, smart, very, very, very well trained.
466 Metro.
Work well together.
466.
And they're just interested in protecting people, helping lost kids, lost people, or arresting people that hurt and victimize others.
Yeah, they
crime's
do
not
a
pretty.
good job.
I always have to explain that sometimes to people, that crime's not pretty. When you're assaulted, your house is burglarized, you feel violated, you don't feel safe in it, somebody shot, somebody murdered, people that are hurt, harmed from that. You know, it's more than just the person that's shot or killed. It's the family, the sisters, the brothers, the friends. And then you go to arrest these people, and they're violent, and they don't want to be held accountable for their bad behavior. They try to escape. They try to do whatever it takes for their selfishness with total disregard to anyone else's safety. And sometimes we got to wrestle with them. Sometimes we need to tase them. Heaven forbid, sometimes we have to shoot. And it's, you know, when you've got somebody who is feels they're above the law, they're violent, they're hostile, they're not listening to legal authority, they start assaulting, killing, that's not pretty. Thank God we have dedicated police officers that are out there willing to face those dangers, making the right decisions. You know, I just can't say enough about the quality of the deputies we work with in Ramsey County.
Right.
Requesting email for pregnant female after crash.
Boy, it gets dark early, doesn't it?
Sure does.
December 21st, if you happen to be a 21ster, you would know is the shortest day of the year. June 21st is the longest day of the year. And so we've only got about 12 more days to the shortest day, and then the days will start getting a little longer. The sun will be up a little longer.
Perfect. Then we'll be wearing shorts and t-shirts.
Yeah, it'll be sun in our eyes. It's just 90 days right now. And I've heard talk that they want to get rid of daylight savings time again.
Really?
Every now and then that comes up.
It does.
387.
We are westbound on
Do
University.
you have a clothing description of the party in this call?
The light rail on the center of University Avenue now.
Thank you.
What do you
Flight
think?
362, I
You don't-
have it on camera. It looks like
You don't have any tattoos, right?
I do not.
35W10.
Neither do I. So, if you were going to get one, I just saw the tattoo shop there. What would your tattoo be?
If I had to get a tattoo, it'd be a dot.
Dot?
Yeah, the smallest penetration.
Yeah, we could do that with a pen.
Yeah, I think I'd probably put my late daughter's name and date of birth.
Continue back on the road.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Mercy.
There's not, it's not much I would want to put on my body that I'd want to think that 30 years, well, my case, 10 years before I die. Yeah, I'm so old.
Hey, no, you're living longer than that. You're like midlife. Right?
Yeah. Because, you know, they're pretty much forever, right? And you put
Yeah.
a little butterfly on, and the next thing you know, 20 years goes by and it looks like a condor. So
You could get them removed, though.
I hear that's very painful.
Yeah, yes.
There's
I know somebody who's had that, has gone through that, and
I don't know
yes,
if
it's like burning.
yeah, I don't know if this is accurate, but I was told they literally use a laser and
Yeah.
boil the ink right out of the skin.
That's correct.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all.
No.
And then I assume there's got to be a period of time for that to heal before that goes away.
Right, yeah.
And those
I used to
fighters-
jokingly tell people that I had a tattoo of the scales of justice on my butt, but it's it wasn't true.
I'll take your word for it.
Uh-oh, spam risk. Calling me.
They want to sell you.
I should answer and we'll go live.
Yeah, I'm sure the warranty on your car is going to wear off.
Yes.
Well, that's another thing that I've heard has been a little bit of an uptick. These scam callers that'll call and say, "Oh, there's a warrant out for your arrest, and if you get your credit card, we'll pay the fine." Right? Number one,
Yeah.
the sheriff's department will never call you and ask for your credit card on the phone. Isn't going to happen. The
No
IRS
police
will never call
department either.
and ask for your credit card over the phone. And if they're asking you to go buy prepaid charge cards, gift cards, and read the number off to you, it's a scam. Oh, we're going to send the police to arrest you if you don't give us this money right now. It's a scam. Hang up.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them. And they try to target the elderly. They try to come off sincere, and they're just cold-blooded. I'm disgusted by the level of human that will prey on people like that. They're just dysfunctional. That's not how you treat people. So don't fall for the scams on the phone. Popeye's chicken. You ever eaten there?
Yeah, not this one, but I have eaten Popeyes
I
before.
think this used to be a KFC, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm almost positive. It's a tough one to get out of drive-through because it comes right here.
Yeah.
12 feet from the intersection.
The Popeyes, there used to be a Popeyes on Lake Street in Minneapolis that we would eat at
Okay.
every once in a while. There's one in Mounds View that I have eaten at. It's just, even when I'm not on a diet, it's a little much for me.
What's the strangest police call you've ever been on a patrol?
Oh, gee. Really?
That you can talk about on here.
I mean, strange-wise, I would say this lady called. She lived down real close to Lake Hiawatha in Minneapolis, and she called in and said that her ex-husband was in her house, had broken into her house, and that he was in the house. And we went
We
there
would have a CSO available.
and didn't find him. Right? We looked, searched through the house, no husband, no ex-husband. And she swore all the doors were locked. And there was nothing. And we left, and like 15 minutes later, she calls again. He's in the house. I just saw him in the hallway. And we get there, all the doors are locked. And we're thinking this lady's mentally ill. You know, something's going on. So then we leave. She calls back like another hour later. And she's like, he's in here. He's still in here in the house. And we searched that house up and down. And nothing. And then all of a sudden, as we're going through the house doing just kind of a final check, my partner noticed there was a footprint on the top of the dresser. And the guy had climbed up into the attic through the access.
Yeah.
And he was living up in the attic of his ex-wife's house. And he would pop down, and then when she would call 911, he'd go back up into the thing. So that was a little strange.
Yeah, that's good for all the babysitters to think about some night when they're babysitting here. But
It's like,
yeah, that is strange.
I remember there was a show called Bad Ronald, I think it was called, where a kid lived in the wall of these people's house.
Huh.
It was like late 70s, probably early 80s.
That's probably where half these ideas people get. They watch TV and think, wow.
But, and we went then, we had a murder in the the old bombed out gold medal flour mill. It wasn't bombed out, it exploded. And on the river in Minneapolis. And we had to climb down like 7 stories underground to find the body and get the suspect in custody. Stuff on a Halloween night. No lights in there, no nothing, just flashlights. That was pretty creepy. That guy had killed 2 people in there and then raped a woman who escaped out and called 911.
Oh, thank God you got out.
Yeah.
What a horrible ordeal.
4509
Kind of quiet over here tonight.
Yeah. Wow.
60.
Yeah, I'm thinking those are probably the weirdest calls. Actually, Ann, my wife, was a Minneapolis cop at the time too, and we both climbed down into that.
The bombed out building?
Yeah, into that flour mill.
One of the call for staff's got the juveniles in custody.
Copy.
I went to call much grosser
Your
calls.
results I just talked about, we'll check the woman's through
You know, and tragic calls, but murders and shootings and stabbings, and a woman stabbed in the eye once with a paring knife. It was still sticking out of her eye.
Oh.
That's a weird one. That's one where you're like, really? Let's see that.
I didn't respond to this call, but I heard it on the radio. I was sitting on surveillance on a fugitive, and it comes over the radio that the caller wanted to report that he was robbed and his methamphetamine was stolen.
Oh.
And dispatch gives it, the officer goes, can you repeat that? Caller says that he was robbed in his house and his methamphetamine stolen. He wants to report the crime. So I did follow up with the officer afterwards, and he was, sure enough, had methamphetamine in his house. Was going to sell it to a guy who decided to rob him and just take it. And didn't dawn on him, as he's reporting the crime, that he was actually admitting to felony behavior himself.
Wow. That's like the Cheech and Chong movie, Up in Smoke. You ever see that?
I never did see that.
Tommy Chong goes, oh, somebody stole the stuff that I stole.
Oh.
I didn't say it wasn't stuff, it was another S word.
Yeah.
But he stole some speakers and then he left them out and someone stole them from him. But yeah, that's not a good deal there. Another weird one popped in my mind while lost it.
It's out of your mind or
the
in
wind
your-
blew it. The wind blew through my ears. Oh.
We had a stolen car in North St. Paul. Drove down into Maplewood, and the guy fled into a house. We're talking to the occupants of the house. They all come out, well known by law enforcement. And we say, where is he? And they're like, it's up to you to figure out. So,
All right.
we got legal permission to search the house.
5633 transport.
They find him in the dryer.
One adult female,
Down in the
so
basement,
she's
hiding in the dryer.
Did you
Not
start the dryer?
not that he didn't need to dry out, if you get my drift.
Right.
But, not the way to do it.
Yeah, I've seen them hiding in some pretty small spaces.
When I ran the Office of Special Investigation in the Department of Corrections, we had a call from the acting warden out of Stillwater that there had been an escape attempt. And you had 3 inmates. One of them was in for murder. I do not remember the other 2. I think they were all 3 murderers of one degree or another. They had hidden in a dumpster, knowing that the trash truck came in before they would go into the industry. So they would hide in the dumpster. The dumpster got picked up by this big trash truck and would come up over the cab and dump it, and then come back down and set it down. And they figured they could get out. They had made homemade weapons they had on them. And the plan was to get out, attack the driver, steal the truck, get to an area where they could steal other cars. They don't. I've investigated several escapes or attempted escape from prison, and they never plan beyond getting out.
Right.
It's okay, now that we're out, what do we do? I don't know. And that's usually how they get caught. They just don't have that real deep, long thought of plan. These guys figured they'd get dumped in there, they could steal the truck, go steal another car before they were even discovered missing. What they didn't count on is when the truck dumps them and then shuts and puts the dumpster back down and starts to drive towards the gate, he then crushes.
Right, yeah.
So as he's crushing, they're popping out, laying down on the top, on the sides, and he has a mirror set up so he can see if that ever happened. So he sees it and just pulls over and jumps out and yells at the tower guard, these guys are trying to escape.
Wow. Huh.
466, sir.
So can the guys in the tower guards, can they shoot someone who's trying to escape?
Yeah. Yeah, they can. I've heard different things. I haven't been with the state since 2000. I've heard there's been some changes with the current commissioner. But statutorily, and when I worked for the Department of Corrections, the perimeter officer and the tower guards were armed, qualify, and trained in the lawful use of deadly force if somebody's trying to escape or harm innocent people.
I see. I just wonder, you watch these movies and you see guys trying to climb the fence, they're shooting at them.
Yeah, I think you pretty much wait till they got away. And kind of the thought is that when we were training at the end, I was a use of force trainer. I would train them that, if you know they're unarmed and there's another line of catching them right there, there's a double fence around the inside fence. You should not go shoot them on the inside fence.
Right.
If they're getting over the second fence and they're going to run away from you, but there's people responding on that other side of the fence that are going to be able to grab them,
Right.
then there's no need to shoot them.
So use some common sense.
Yeah. The last thing you want to do is take somebody's life, no matter who they are or what they are. That's
179 Ruby Street.
Yeah.
For a female named Kevin.
if somebody is trying to cause great bodily harm or death to an innocent party or yourself, you defend them. You defend yourself. Those are decisions that individual made, and sometimes it turns out really bad for the good guy, and sometimes it turns out really bad for the bad guy.
Medical.
A lot going on way up
North
north.
6 Eagle Ridge Road. 101-year-old male had a fall hit me.
101-year-old male.
Wow.
That's Pretty old to fall.
Yeah, now falls are not good for the elderly. Probably not good for anybody, but I think falls is considered the leading cause of death of the elderly.
Really?
I said that to my one smart aleck son. He told me, "No, Dad, it's heart stops is the leading cause of death."
Dan and I were talking about this the other day. So we know someone who passed away, and they're...
You step into the car with us and maybe canine.
Where's that?
For another spotted canine, I can search the 795 Grotto Street North.
795 Grotto Street.
I hear the girls.
Information.
I don't see it on here.
For traffic, we'll be coming for the place Juliet Tango Romeo 849 at Rice and Rose.
Right from Rose, information plus the 20 for patch coverage.
Take a case number.
273, your case number is 229043.
Rice and Rose's traffic.
There it is. It's on a traffic stop.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but there was the Grotto call.
2364 moms advising the knives are in the collar's purse.
We asked for a canine.
Yeah, I heard that.
I don't know.
There it is.
Must be...
It's an alarm sounding. This is the Grotto car.
I bet that's the...
I could hear him, but I couldn't see him.
yeah. Me either.
5382.
Grotto call is for a possible burglary, and they want a dog for the owner.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go up to Rice and Rose. For the
Copy, no from note 53.
traffic stop till he's code 4.
Paper.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you think about all the things you see over a career.
Yeah, it's...
For me, this year is my 35th year of public safety, and
2025 will be my 46th year. I started when I was 20 in the academy. And the one that sticks in my head the most, it was your average, it was a drug smuggling operation, drug trafficking. And we arrested a couple of people, which led us to a house to do a search warrant. And we get in the house, and one of the guys that was involved in the drug trafficking was in prison. And he was trying to coordinate to get drugs into the prison and sell them, which is about 100 times what the street value would be once you smuggled them in.
right.
And we did the search warrant in St. Paul on the house of the person that was supplying the drugs. And in the house is this guy's girlfriend, the inmate's girlfriend, and his 5-year-old son, who just seemed like the nicest little kid.
Bravo 172 EOT. Have a good night.
20 years later, I'm arresting a guy on possession of drugs and counterfeiting. He's this 5-year-old.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I've been there with arresting kids of people that I arrested.
Thursday transport, one adult female to 920 Parker Avenue.
I'm looking for, I see the lights.
Copy, 920
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Clearing. Okay.
We had a warrant here the other day that the person gave identification and it didn't match. The officer ran and said, I'm not sure that's the person. There's a warrant out for the sister of the name she gave me, and I think she looks more like the person wanted than the name she gave me. And there's a device called IBIS, as you know, that about the size of a cell phone that you take a fingerprint of the person and it'll tell you if they've ever been booked, who they are. And so we're waiting for the IBIS, and apparently the IBIS wasn't working. And I said, well, it's been 10 minutes. What's her real name? And he told me her real name, the one he thought she was, the wanted one. And I walked up and knocked on the window, and she rolled the window down. I said, you know, I'm just going to use a fake name. I don't know what the charge is.
Right.
Just because you're wanted doesn't mean you're guilty. So I said, Ellen, why did you lie to my guys and say you were your sister? She said, I just didn't want to get arrested on my warrant. well, step out of the car.
Oh, Stevie is sneaky.
So it's you get these different calls. You just
Yeah, sometimes you just got to be creative.
Yeah,
You get in, every once in a while it helps to have somebody with a different perspective
yeah.
show up, and you forget, like you'll go, I went to a call and they're like, I think we need to call out SWAT on this, and I'm like, well, why? Well, he won't come out. I'm like, did you ask him to come out?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
and then, no, we never talked to him, but like, call him, ask him to come out, and sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, sometimes you get the call. It's my neighbor. I'm complaining. My neighbor's blaring the radio. Well, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, ma'am. And yeah, but I have an infant baby sleeping in that side of the house is where the nursery is. Did you ever talk to your neighbor? No. Well, let's go talk to them.
Yeah.
And as soon as they find out, they're very apologetic.
Yeah.
They don't.
A lot of times you could solve issues that way. And unfortunately, a lot of people just resort to calling 911 instead of just go knock on the neighbor's door and say, hey, can you do me a favor?
I heard this on the radio. They said it wasn't shtick, that it was true.
Regarding the data
And they played the 911 call.
We just get a call from
An inebriated man called to report that his pizza was longer than 30 minutes and wasn't there yet.
Oh.
So sometimes you don't need to call 911.
23.
Or if they don't give you enough chicken nuggets.
I'm with that vehicle now. I'm going to be trying to push it
That
off
could
the
be a
road.
crime.
I mean, if you're hungry and you really love chicken nuggets, that could be a felony.
You could resort to one.
Yeah.
Or end up as one.
All right, well, we have exhausted our time out here today. We both have other things we need to get on. But thank you for riding with us. We appreciate it. And, of course, we'll be back. And Wednesday, we should have the younger members of the CAT team out and about. And on Friday, the whole Live on Patrol team. So, thanks for being with us. And have a good night. And remember to be kind.
Stay up there for a little bit. They don't know too much.
You want to call what's his face? Kyle. Tell him we're done.
Call Kyle Meestead. We're done.
Should we reset when we're at M&H maybe?
That's a good idea.
We could run in and get a bag of carrots.
Or something.
Well, it's Friday night, and Bob's in his rock hat, send the passenger along for the drive. They're patrolling St. Paul, feeling big and mean, talking about snacks that are healthy and lean. Bob says Pat was got some carrot sticks, Pat not slow, but it's not plays tricks. They're dreaming of cheesy wieners stacked high with fudge covered Twinkies and a Mountain Dew side. Oh, Bob and Pat, they're slow on the chase. They drive around town at a leisurely pace. They flash their lights, but the bad guys flee. It's hard to catch crooks with no urgency. Tom, West, and Pat, they're slow on the chase. Driving around town at a leisurely pace. They flash their lights, but the bad guys flee. It's hard to catch crooks with no urgency.
No longer have them in sight.
Down on West 7th by McGovern's place, they spot an SUV, it's a real disgrace. Two ladies walking, looking kinda stressed. Bob squints his eye, says they're in distress. They flip on the reds, they're ready to fight. The SUV peels off into the night. Hold on, Pat, we're hot on his trail, but the gas pedal's slow and their eyesight fails.
No longer have them in sight.
They're losing the race. Every high-speed pursuit ends up in disgrace. They're driving like grandpas, taking their time while the crooks hit let's retrace our tracks. The girls must know something or we're out of snacks. But the ladies just shrug, we don't know the guy. He gave us a ride, then told us goodbye.
No longer have them in sight.
Pat scratches his head, Bob's deep in thought. But the stolen SUV, it's already forgot. They head to M&H, their pride in tatters. Dreaming of Twinkies, cause that's what matters. Oh, Bob and Pat, the streets know their game. The crooks get away, but snacks get the blame. Flashing those lights like they're still in their prime. But the SUV's gone by snack break time. So if you're out there committing a crime, don't fret too much. Bob and Pat,
hey, guess what, ladies? Your friend was driving a stolen car that we were in.
Fudge cover snacks on the spree. Cheesy wieners and SUVs. Bob and Pat patrol with ease.
A Ramsey County Sheriff's deputy crashed his patrol car into an office building in Vadnais Heights, causing this fire.
Bob Fletcher thought he was sly. Hired Duggar with a wink and a lie. I failed her for and no results to show. But Bob kept him around just so you know. Go undercover, he said with a grin. Keep us safe from the chaos within. But Duggar was more than Bob could take. Even after all the rules he'd break. Oh Bob, what a guy, what a show. Hired a deputy who crashed and blow. From court security to control with pride. Bob turned a blind eye, kept him inside. Backseaters cheer but they don't know. Bob's got a history that's starting the show. From informant to a courtroom night, Duggar worked off duty, what a sight. Lights flashing on his personal right. Bob just smiled, pushed rules aside. Training for rookies, Duggar would say, while Bob kept the chaos on display. The IA report, oh just a fuss. Bob was the king of don't bother us. Oh Bob, what a guy, what a show. Hired a deputy who crashed and blow. From court security to patrol with pride. Bob turned a blind eye, kept him inside. Backseaters cheer but they don't know. Bob's got a history that's starting the show. Then came the crash, oh what a scene. A fiery mess that turned to mean. A business burned, $1 million in debt. Bob's face turned red but no regret. Not my fault, he says with a laugh. The victims like Bob do the math. Bob's got fans who can't see the dark. Blind to the flaws, they still bark. At the Back to the 50s show, he met a man and said, hey Bob, you hired that plan. Bob smiled, faltered, eyes looked away. Can't take the heat when it's time to pay. Oh Bob, what a guy, what a show. Hired a deputy who crashed and blow. From court security to patrol with pride. Bob turned a blind eye, kept him inside. Backseaters cheer but they don't know. Bob's got a history that's starting the show. So here's to Bob and his reckless crew. A sheriff's legacy of I didn't do. But Duggar's tale and the fire that burned is the story that the backseaters never learned.
So, beautiful event. Come on down. Hey, guys!
Check other districts. See if they have an IDOS they can bring myself.
How you doing?
Hey, guys!
Fans, we're watching Terry.
Thank you.
Terry and Molly.
Hi, Terry. Nice to see you guys.
I was the Willow Lake Boulevard victim.
Oh, you
with
were.
With what the hell was his name? We just talked about Duggar, Chris.
Yeah, we ran into you.
Blew it up.
Yeah, blew up your
that
garage.
was my conference room.
Oh my goodness. Glad you weren't in it.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Hey, by the way, I wasn't sheriff when that happened.
No, you weren't. But you hired him.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. Yeah,
oh yeah. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for all you do. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, is the show kind of over now, or are they still coming?
You are the show.
It's still going. Okay, good.
Oh yeah, there's some.
Yeah, my son and I went down there today. It was really fun walking around. A little hot, but a lot of cool cars. A lot of cool cars.
Yeah. Good.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks a
have a good
lot.
night.
Sorry about that house.
So here's the Bob and his reckless crew. A sheriff's legacy I didn't do. But Tucker's tale of the fire that burned
There's a lot of people out here to watch them. Back to the 50s cars. Most of them appreciative of law enforcement.
Now to another story that we're tracking this morning. A Ramsey County Sheriff's deputy crashed his patrol car into an office building in Vadnais Heights, causing this fire. First told you about this crash minutes after it happened on 5 Eyewitness News at 10. Now we're learning more details surrounding the crash. 5 Eyewitness News reporter Steve Patterson has more live from the newsroom. Steve.
What a wild thing this was, Chris. Authorities tell us the deputy, whose lights and sirens were on, was attempting to make a traffic stop, but overshot the turn, went over the grass, and then hit a business building. And here's where it gets really dangerous. The car struck the building's gas meter and then burst into flames. Now, one of the fortunate turns in this, especially when you look at this incredible video, is that the business that the police car slammed into was closed at the time. All that being said, the car, of course, is a total loss, and the building does have some severe fire damage. Amazingly, though, the officer inside of that car was able to get out without any really serious injuries or any burns.
It's really amazing, and it's very fortunate. We can be thankful that that he was not hurt, and that nothing serious, you know, beyond all of this property damage happened.
The officer inside was taken to Regents Hospital. He's expected to be released soon. The building, by the way, housed several businesses, and the fire chief tells us that they all would have gone up in flames, and that building would be nothing but ash this morning had a sprinkler system not been in place. We're going to keep our eye on this. If any new information does come in, I'll be sure to pass it on to you.